O-Level Chemistry, Paper Code 5070, Paper 1 Variant 2, May-June 2014. Question 1. Which process is suitable for obtaining the water from an aqueous solution of sugar? Option A. Crystallization. Crystallization is used to produce solid crystals from a solution. So this one is incorrect. Option B. Distillation. Yes, this one is correct option. Distillation involves conversion of liquid into vapors and then condense back to liquid form. So by condensation, we can obtain water from an aqueous solution of sugar. Option C. Filtration. Filtration is used to separate insoluble solids from liquid. So C is also incorrect. Option D. Use of a separating funnel. It is also incorrect because separating funnel method is used to separate immiscible liquids. So A, C and D are incorrect option. The only correct option is option B, distillation. Question number 2. Sulfur dioxide and oxygen react together. Which changes will increase both the rate of reaction and the equilibrium concentration of sulfur trioxide? Number 1. Adding a catalyst. By adding a catalyst, we can increase the rate of reaction, but we cannot increase the concentration of sulfur trioxide. So 1 is incorrect. Number 2. Increasing temperature. Here we are looking that delta H is given minus 197 kilojoule per mole. Since the reaction is exothermic, so with the increase in temperature, the reaction will proceed in the backward direction and we will not get sulfur trioxide, we will get sulfur dioxide and oxygen. So by increasing temperature, the concentration of sulfur trioxide will be decreased. So 2 is also incorrect. Number 3. Increasing pressure. By increasing pressure, volume will be decreased. And with the decrease in volume, the molecules of the reactants present in the container will have a tendency to collide more rapidly. And when these molecules will collide more rapidly, the rate of reaction will be increased. Now what about the concentration of sulfur trioxide? If we will increase the pressure at equilibrium, the reaction will proceed in that direction where volume is less. Now if we check this equation, on the reactant side we have 2 moles of sulfur dioxide and 1 mole of oxygen. So total number of moles on the reactant side is 3, and on the product side we have only 2 moles of sulfur trioxide. So on the reactant side number of moles are 3, on the product side number of moles are 2. So volume on the reactant side is more, volume on the product side is less, since with the increase in pressure, reaction proceed in that direction where volume is less. So here by increasing pressure, the reaction will proceed in the forward direction and we will get more sulfur trioxide. So by increasing pressure, both the rate of reaction and the equilibrium concentration of sulfur trioxide will be increased. So here only number 3 statement is correct. 3 only is given in option D. So correct option will be option D. Question number 3. The scheme shows a sequence of reaction starting from compound Y. Here we have compound Y. When this compound Y is reacted with nitric acid, we got a gas and a colorless solution. Now this colorless solution is reacted with sodium hydroxide and we get white precipitate that is insoluble in sodium hydroxide. What could the compound Y be? Option A. Aluminum sulfate. When we will react aluminum sulfate with nitric acid, we will get aluminum nitrate and sulfuric acid. Here, neither aluminum nitrate is a gas nor sulfuric acid is a gas, and here it is given when this compound Y is reacted with nitric acid, we get a gas. And here we have not get any gas, so option A is incorrect. Option B. Calcium carbonate. When we react calcium carbonate with nitric acid, we will get calcium nitrate, carbon dioxide and water. Now here calcium nitrate is a colorless solution and carbon dioxide is a gas. And here it is given we have a colorless solution and a gas. So this option B is our possible option. In option C, copper carbonate. When copper carbonate is reacted with nitric acid, we get copper nitrate, carbon dioxide and water. Here this carbon dioxide is a gas, So up to this point it is correct. Now second thing is given here, copper nitrate. Copper nitrate is not a colorless solution, it is a colored solution. And here it is given colorless solution, so C is incorrect option. Option D, zinc carbonate. When we react zinc carbonate with nitric acid, we got zinc nitrate, carbon dioxide and water. Zinc nitrate is a colorless solution. Carbon dioxide is a gas. So here option D is also our possible option. Now this calcium nitrate is reacted with sodium hydroxide and we get white precipitate. When we react calcium nitrate with sodium hydroxide, we get calcium hydroxide, and this calcium hydroxide is insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Whereas this zinc nitrate, when it is reacted with sodium hydroxide, we get zinc hydroxide, and that zinc hydroxide is soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. And here it is given white precipitate insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. So our correct option will be option B, because calcium hydroxide is insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Zinc hydroxide is soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. That's why option D is incorrect. Correct option, option B. Question number 4. The apparatus shown can be used to find the rate of some chemical reaction. The rate of which reaction can be followed using this apparatus. Here we have a gas syringe. Gas syringe means here we have collected a gas. So one of the product is a gas. Now if we check the options, in option A we have silver nitrate and potassium iodide. When silver nitrate and potassium iodide is reacted, we get silver iodide and potassium nitrate. Neither silver iodide is a gas nor potassium nitrate is a gas, so option A is not the possible option. In option B, magnesium and HCl. When we react magnesium and HCl, we get magnesium chloride and hydrogen is a gas. So here this option B is our possible option, because here it is given that we are collecting the product in a gas syringe. Collecting a product in a gas syringe means here one of the product is a gas, and in option B we got a gas, that is hydrogen, so option B is our possible option. In C and D, also we are looking that we haven't got a gas. Here we have sodium sulfate and water. Here we have sodium chloride and water. So C and D is also not the possible option. The only possible option is option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 5. Crude oil is fractionally listed in a fractionating column. The positions at which fractions X and Y are collected are shown. Here we have collected X, here we have collected Y. Which statement is correct? Option A, the temperature increases up the column. No, it is incorrect. When we move in the fractionating column from bottom towards top, temperature decreases. So this one incorrect. Option B, X condenses at a lower temperature than Y. Yes, this one is correct. When we move up in the fractionating column, temperature decreases. So here we can say X will be condensed at lower temperature as compared to Y. So B is our possible option. C, X has a higher boiling point than Y. No, this one is also incorrect. X will have lower boiling point and Y will have higher boiling point, because Y we are collecting at the bottom and X we are collecting at the top. So X will have lesser molecular mass, Y will have greater molecular mass, and with the decrease in molecular mass, boiling point decreases, so X will have lower boiling point than Y. So C is also incorrect. Option D, X has longer chain molecules than Y. This one is also incorrect, because Y we are collecting at the bottom, X we are collecting at the top. So Y will have greater molecular mass, X will have lesser molecular mass. Since Y has greater molecular mass, so definitely it will have more carbon atom and X will have less carbon atom. So Y will have longer chain of carbon atom and X will have smaller chain of carbon atoms. So D is also incorrect. Correct option, option B, X condenses at lower temperature than Y. Question number 6. An ion X plus has 23 nucleons and 10 electrons. What does the nucleus of X contain? In a nucleus, we have proton and neutron. Here it is given 23 nucleon, means total number of protons and neutrons are 23. Now here it is given this ion has 10 electrons, and here we have positive charge, means 1 electron is taken out from this atom. So in neutral atom there will be total number of electrons 11. Since in a neutral atom total number of electrons are 11, so definitely it will also have 11 number of protons. So number of proton in this atom will be 11. Now proton 11 is given in option C. So our possible option will be option C. Now we also check number of neutron. It is discussed that nucleon number means sum of proton and neutron. Here we have total number of proton 11. So number of neutron will be 23 minus 11. It will be 12. So number of neutron 12. Number of proton 11. That is given in option C. So correct option C. Question number 7. Which element exists as a macromolecule? Option A carbon, B hydrogen, C oxygen, D sodium. Here correct option is option A. Carbon forms in allotropic form like diamond and graphite, and in diamond and graphite we know that carbon is in form of chain, and in form of chain means it is in the form of macromolecule. So correct option will be option A. Question number 8. Which substance can conduct electricity by movement of ions? Option A copper. Copper is a metal, and in a metal electricity is conducted because of the flow of electrons, not by the movement of ions. So A is incorrect. In B graphite. Graphite has also delocalized electron, and in graphite electricity is conducted because of the movement of these delocalized electrons. So B is also incorrect. C mercury. Mercury is also a metal. So in a metal electricity is conducted because of the movement of electron, not because of the movement of ion. So C is also incorrect. D sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a salt, and we have studied that a salt in a molten state and in aqueous solution are good conductor of electricity, and they are good conductor of electricity because of the presence of positive and negative ions. So in sodium chloride, electricity will be conducted because of the movement of ions. So correct option will be option D. Question number 9. The diagram shows the molecule ethyl propanoate. Consider all the electrons in a molecule of ethyl propanoate. How many electrons not involved in bonding are there in the molecule? In carbon, we have 6 electrons. Now here out of 6, 4 electrons have taken part in the bonding. So only 2 electrons are not taking part in the bonding. Now here we are looking, we have total number of carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In one carbon atom 2 electrons are not taking part in the bonding. So in 5 carbon atom total number of electrons that have not taken part in the bonding will be 2 multiplied by 5, 10. Now in a hydrogen we have only one electron, and that electron has taken part in the bonding. Now we check oxygen. In oxygen we have total 8 number of electrons. Out of 8 number of electrons, only 2 electrons have taken part in the bonding. So here for one oxygen 6 electrons have not taken part in the bond formation. Here we have total 2 oxygen atom. So total number of electrons that have not taken part in the bond formation will be 2 multiplied by 6, it will be 12. From carbon we got 10, from oxygen we got 12, so 10 plus 12 it will be 22. So here we can say total 22 electrons have not taken part in the bond formation in ethyl propanoate. 22 is given in option D, so correct option will be option D. Question number 10. Sodium and magnesium are next to each other in the periodic table. Here we have sodium, magnesium, melting point of sodium and magnesium are given, and also boiling point of sodium and magnesium is given. Which statement explains the difference in the melting and boiling point of these elements? Option A, sodium and magnesium have different type of bonding. No, they have same type of bonding. Both of them belongs to one A group, so A is incorrect. B, the electrostatic force of attraction are stronger in magnesium. Yes, this one is correct. In magnesium, electrostatic force of attraction is more as compared to sodium. So the atoms or the molecule in magnesium will be closer as compared to sodium, and we have to provide more energy to separate these molecules in magnesium as compared to sodium. So melting point and boiling point will be more in magnesium because in magnesium we have to provide more energy as compared to sodium. So correct option will be option B. The electrostatic forces of attraction are stronger in magnesium. Question number 11. Sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide can react together to form potassium hydrogen sulfate and water only. Which amounts of the reactant are required? When we react sulfuric acid with potassium hydroxide, we get potassium hydrogen sulfate and water according to this equation. This equation is in balanced form, so here we can say 1 mole of sulfuric acid reacts with 1 mole of potassium hydroxide, and as a result we get 1 mole of potassium hydrogen sulfate and 1 mole of water. Now we check the options. Option A, equal masses of sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide. Molecular mass of sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide is different, so the masses will be different, it will not be same. So A is incorrect. Option B, equal number of moles of sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide. Yes, this option is correct. Here 1 mole of sulfuric acid reacts with 1 mole of potassium hydroxide. So number of moles of sulfuric acid and number of moles of potassium hydroxide are equal. They are same. So option B is correct option. Question number 12. The diagram shows the structure of the atoms of element L and M. The elements combine to form a compound. What is the mass of 1 mole of this compound? In this element L, total nucleon number is 3 plus 4, 7. And 7 nucleon number is of lithium. So this one is lithium. In M, total number of nucleons are 8 plus 8, 16. And 16 nucleon number is for oxygen. So this L is lithium and this M is oxygen. Now this lithium belongs to 1A group and this oxygen belongs to 6 group. When lithium and oxygen react together, two lithium atoms will react with one oxygen atom. So here we will have the formula Li2O. Now in this molecular formula Li2O, what is the molecular mass? For one lithium, mass is 7. So for two lithium, it will be 14. For one oxygen, it is 8 plus 8, 16. So here total mass will be equal to 14 plus 16, it will be 30. 30 gram is given in option D, so correct option will be option D. Question number 13. A concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride is electrolyzed. What are the equations for the reaction taking place at the cathode and at the anode? Here we have concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride. From sodium chloride, we have sodium ion and chloride ion, and from aqueous means water, so from water we will have hydrogen and hydroxide ion. In this solution, we have two positive ions that are sodium and hydrogen ion and two negative ions that are chloride and hydroxide ion. Now these positive ions, sodium ion and hydrogen ion, will have a tendency to move towards the negatively charged electrode towards the cathode. Now if we check the reactivity series, sodium is more reactive than hydrogen. So sodium will not migrate towards the cathode, hydrogen will migrate towards the cathode, and at the cathode hydrogen will gain electron and hydrogen gas will be evolved. It is given in option A and B. So possible option will be A and B. Now what reaction is taking place at anode? Towards the anode, negatively charged ion will migrate. Now here it is given we have concentrated aqueous solution. Concentrated aqueous solution means in the solution chloride ion concentration is more as compared to hydroxide ion. So towards the anode chloride ion will migrate, and at the anode chloride ion will lose electron and chlorine gas will be liberated. Now chloride ion will migrate towards the anode, and at the anode it will lose 2 electrons and chlorine gas will be liberated. That is given in option A. So our correct option will be option A. At the cathode hydrogen gas will be evolved, and at the anode chlorine gas will be evolved. So correct option will be option A. Question number 14. What is observed during the electrolysis of aqueous copper sulfate using carbon electrodes? Aqueous copper sulfate means here we have copper ion and sulfate ion. From copper sulfate and from aqueous we have hydrogen and hydroxide ion. Now here we have two positive ions that are copper ion and hydrogen ion, two negative ions that are sulfate ion and hydroxide ion. Towards the cathode, positive charge will migrate. Now we have two positive charge copper ion and hydrogen ion. If we check the reactivity series, hydrogen is more reactive than copper, so hydrogen will not migrate towards the cathode, copper ion will migrate towards the cathode. And at the cathode, copper ion will gain electron and copper will be deposited at the cathode. What reaction will take place at anode? Here we have two negative ions, sulfate ion and hydroxide ion. Now towards the anode, hydroxide ion will migrate, and at the anode it will lose 4 electrons and we will get water and oxygen gas. So at the anode, oxygen gas will be liberated. Now we check the options. Option A, a pink solid is deposited on the anode. Pink solid means copper. Copper will be deposited at cathode, not at the anode. So A is incorrect. B, bubbles form on the negative electrode. On the negative electrode means cathode. At the cathode we got copper, not the gas. So at the cathode, at the negative electrode, bubble will not form. So B is also incorrect. Option C, the color of the solution fades. Yes, this one is correct. From the solution, copper ion is migrating towards the cathode, and at the cathode, this copper is deposited. So with the migration of the copper ion from the solution, in the solution, copper ion concentration will be decreased, and because of the decrease of copper ion in the solution, the color of the solution will fade. So correct option, option C, the color of the solution fades. Question number 15. Nitrogen monoxide is an atmospheric pollutant that is formed in car engines by the reaction between nitrogen and oxygen. Which diagram represents the energy profile for this reaction? Here it is given nitrogen reacts with oxygen, we get nitrogen oxide, and here delta H is given plus 66 kJ per mole. Means during this reaction heat energy is absorbed, and heat energy absorbed means on the reactant side energy is less, on the product side energy is more. Now we check the options. In option A in this graph, it is activation energy. Activation energy is defined as the difference of the energy from the reactant to the peak position. This activation energy is shown correctly, and here delta H is shown positive, means here it is increasing from reactant to the product side. So here this option A is our correct option, because here both the activation energy and the change in enthalpy are shown in correct direction. We also check other options. In option B, this activation energy, it is shown correctly, but here change in energy enthalpy change is shown incorrect, because here it is shown that energy is decreasing. Here it is shown that energy is decreasing from product to reactant side. But here it is given that delta H is positive, means the enthalpy change is increasing, not decreasing. So B is incorrect. In C, it is shown that in the reactant energy is more, in the product energy is less. But here delta H is positive. Positive means in the reactant energy is less and in the product energy is more. So this one is incorrect. Again here it is shown that here in the reactant energy is more, in the product energy is less. So this one is incorrect. Here correct option is option A. In option A, enthalpy change is shown correctly and also the activation energy is shown correctly. So correct option, option A. Question number 16. Which substance does not react with hydrochloric acid? Option A, zinc carbonate, B, zinc hydroxide, C, zinc metal, D, zinc nitrate. Hydrochloric acid. Acid will react with an alkali. In A and B, zinc carbonate and zinc hydroxide are alkaline in nature, so A and B will react with hydrochloric acid. In option C, we have zinc metal. If we check the reactivity series, zinc is more reactive than hydrogen, so zinc can replace hydrogen from hydrochloric acid. So zinc metal will also react with hydrochloric acid. Zinc nitrate, it is a salt. Salt will not react with hydrochloric acid, so correct option will be option D. Question number 17. The table shows the energy released by the complete combustion of some compound used as fuel. In first column, compound name is given, second column formula, third column molecular mass, and in the fourth column delta H is given. It is in kilojoule per mole. Which fuel releases the energy when 1 gram of the compound is completely burned? Option A, benzene. Here this much amount of energy is for 1 mole. 1 mole means atomic mass represented in gram. So here we can say this much amount of energy is for 1 mole or for 78 gram of benzene. Now here first we will calculate the amount of energy released in 1 gram. This energy is from 78 gram. So from 1 gram it will be equal to 3270 divided by 78. It will be equal to 41.9 kilojoule. It is kilojoule. Now in the same manner we have calculated the energy in 1 gram in heptane, in octane and also in propane. And we got in heptane it is minus 48 kilojoule, in octane it is minus 48.3 kilojoule and in propane it is minus 50 kilojoule. Now the least amount of energy released is in benzene, that is 41.9 kilojoule. So our correct option will be option A. In benzene we will get least amount of energy. Question number 18. In which circuit does the bulb light? Option A. In option A we have copper sulfate solution and here we have two copper electrodes. One of copper electrode will be cathode and second one will be anode. Suppose this one is cathode, this one is anode, and here we have copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution means copper ion and sulfate ion. Now copper ions are positively charged ions, so copper ion will migrate towards the cathode and at the cathode it will be deposited. So for this cathode the size of the cathode will start to increase. Now in the solution copper ion will start to decrease. Now to balance the deficiency of this copper ion in the solution, from this copper anode it will be converted to copper ion and it will be mixed in the solution. So gradually this copper anode will decrease and after some time this copper electrode will be completely finished. When this anode will be completely finished, here we have no anode. When there is no anode, definitely there will be no migration of the ions and electricity will not be conducted. And when the electricity will not be conducted, this bulb will not light. So in A, bulb will not light. In B, we have sodium chloride in solid state. In solid state, salt cannot conduct electricity. It can conduct electricity in molten state or in aqueous solution. So in B also electricity will not be conducted. In C, we have ethanol. Ethanol is an organic compound. Organic compound do not dissociate into its ion. Since here we don't have ion in the solution, so electricity will not be conducted. So C is also incorrect. In D, we have sulfuric acid. From sulfuric acid, we have hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. And aqueous means water. So from water also we have hydrogen and hydroxide ion. Now these hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion can migrate towards the positively charged electrode. And because of the migration of the ion, there will be conduction of electricity. And when there is conduction of electricity, this bulb will light. So the bulb will light in option D. So correct option is option D. Question number 19. Ammonia is made by a reversible reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen. What is the effect of increasing the pressure in this process? In this balance equation, we have 1 mole of nitrogen, 3 mole of hydrogen. So on the reactant side, total number of moles are 4. On the product side, we have 2 moles of ammonia, means on the product side, total number of moles are 2. On the reactant side, it is 4. On the product side, it is 2. So here we can say when we move in the forward direction, number of moles are decreasing. Since number of moles are decreasing, so here we can say that volume is also decreasing on the product side. So on the reactant side, volume is more. On the product side, volume is less. And with the increase in pressure, volume decreases. So if we will increase the pressure, the reaction will proceed in the forward direction and we will get more ammonia. Now we check the options. Option A, less heat is produced. No, it is incorrect. Option B, more ammonia is formed. Yes, this one is correct because here on the reactant side, volume is more. On the product side, volume is less. And with the increase in pressure, the reaction will proceed in that direction where volume is less. So we will get more ammonia. So correct option, option B. What is given in option C? In option C, it is given more nitrogen is present at equilibrium. No, it is incorrect. In equilibrium, we have only 1 mole of nitrogen and it is less than the number of moles of hydrogen and also less than the number of moles of ammonia. So this one incorrect. D, the reaction slows down. No, reaction will not slow down. Reaction will speed up in the forward direction and we will get more ammonia. So D is also incorrect. Correct option, option B, more ammonia is formed. Question number 20. Which change involve reduction? Reduction means gain of electron. Now we check the options. Option A, calcium carbonate to calcium oxide. In calcium carbonate, if we check the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. For carbon, it is +4. So definitely on calcium, it should be +2. Now if we check calcium oxide, on oxygen charge is -2. So on calcium, it is +2. So there is no change in the oxidation state. When there is no change in the oxidation state, there is no loss or gain in electron. So neither there is reduction nor oxidation. B, copper to brass. Copper to brass means here we are making an alloy. So this one is also incorrect. Option C, ethene to polyethene. Ethene to polyethene means it is polymerization, it is addition reaction. So in this reaction, reduction or oxidation is not involved. D, sand to silicon. Sand means silicon dioxide. In silicon dioxide, oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Here we have 2 oxygen. So total charge on oxygen will be -4. So definitely on this silicon charge will be +4. So here oxidation state of silicon is +4. For oxygen it is -2. When it is converted to silicon means here we get silicon and oxygen. Silicon is an atomic state, so its oxidation state will be 0, and also for oxygen that is in molecular state, its oxidation state will be 0. In silicon dioxide, oxidation state is +4, in silicon it is 0, so here it has gained 4 electron and gain of electron is called reduction. So here reduction is involved. So our correct option will be option D, sand to silicon. Question 21. Samples of three oxides X, Y and Z were added separately to dilute hydrochloric acid and to dilute sodium hydroxide. X and Y react with dilute hydrochloric acid, but Z does not react. Y and Z react with aqueous sodium hydroxide, but X does not react. Which type of oxide are each of X, Y and Z? Here we have three oxides X, Y and Z. The condition is given here. Hydrochloric acid reacts with X and Y, but hydrochloric acid does not react with Z. So here HCl, it reacts with X and with Y, but it does not react with Z. Now sodium hydroxide, it reacts with Y and Z. Sodium hydroxide reacts with Y and Z, but it does not react with X. Now we have to find out the type of the oxide. Now X reacts with HCl. X reacts with an acid, but X does not react with an alkali. So X definitely it is alkaline in nature because it is not reacting with alkali and it is reacting with an acid. So X is alkaline in nature. Alkaline or basic in nature, X is given only in the option D. So our correct option will be option D. We also check Y and Z. For Y, we are looking Y is reacting with HCl as well as with sodium hydroxide. And the oxide that reacts with both acid and alkali are called amphoteric oxide. So Y is an amphoteric oxide. Now Z, it reacts with NaOH but it does not react with HCl. So definitely this Z will be acidic in nature because it does not react with an acid and it reacts with an alkali. So Z is acidic in nature, Y is amphoteric and basic oxide is X. So our correct option will be option D. Question number 22. Which process does not involve the use of a transition element? Option A. The manufacture of margarine from vegetable oil. In manufacture of margarine from vegetable oil, we have to use a catalyst nickel and nickel belongs to transition element. So A is incorrect. B. The manufacture of sulfuric acid in the contact process. In manufacture of sulfuric acid in the contact process, we have to use a catalyst vanadium pentaoxide and vanadium is a member of transition element, so B is also incorrect. C. The purification of river water to produce drinking water. Yes, this option is correct option because for the purification of river water we have to use chlorine and chlorine does not belong to transition element. So our correct option will be option C. What is given in D? The removal of combustion pollutant from car exhaust gases. For removal of the combustion pollutant from the car exhaust gases, we have to use a catalyst and its name is platinum. Platinum also belongs to transition element. So only in the option C we are looking that transition element is not used. So our correct option will be option C. In C, transition element is not involved. Question number 23. Element Q is in period 3 of the periodic table. It can form ions with the formula Q minus 3. Which element is most likely to be Q? Here we check periodic table. It is first period, it is second period, it is third period. Now the element belongs to third period and it has a charge minus 3. In third period, if we check this last one, it is inert gas. It has charge 0. Then we check this 7A group. Here we have charge minus 1, then minus 2, then minus 3. So the element that is in the third period with charge minus 3 is phosphorus. So here our correct option will be option C, phosphorus. Question number 24. Which property would all the hydrogen compounds of the group 7 element possess? Option A, be covalent. Yes, it is correct option. When hydrogen combines with 7A group member, it shares one electron, and by the sharing of electron, the bond formed is called covalent bond. So option A is correct option. What is given in other options? In B it is given B solid at room temperature. No, it is incorrect. HCl hydrogen chloride is a gas. It is not solid at room temperature. C. Form alkaline aqueous solution. When hydrogen reacts with 7 group member, it forms acidic solution, not alkaline solution. So C is incorrect. D. Conduct electricity when molten. HCl, hydrochloric acid, in pure form, it does not conduct electricity because it is a covalent compound. HCl conducts electricity when it is dissolved in water. In aqueous solution, it is good conductor of electricity, but in pure molten form, it is not good conductor of electricity. So D is also incorrect. Correct option, option A, B covalent. Question number 25. A student mixed together aqueous solution Y and Z, a white precipitate form, which could not be Y and Z. When we react hydrochloric acid with silver nitrate, we will get silver chloride, and silver chloride is of white precipitate. So A is incorrect. In B, hydrochloric acid and sodium nitrate. When we react sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid, we get sodium chloride. And sodium chloride is a salt that is soluble in water, so it will not produce white precipitate. So here our correct option will be option B, because in B we will not get a white precipitate. What is in C and D? In C we have sodium chloride and lead nitrate. Here we will get lead chloride. Lead chloride again it is of white precipitate. So C is incorrect. In D we have sodium chloride and silver nitrate. Here we will get silver chloride and silver chloride form white precipitate. So in A, C and D we will get white precipitate. In B we will not get white precipitate. Sodium chloride is soluble in water. So correct option will be option B. Question number 26. Aluminum is extracted from its molten oxide ore by electrolysis, whereas zinc is extracted by reduction of its oxide when heated with coke. Which statement explains this? Option A. Aluminum is very high in the reactivity series. Yes, this one is correct option. Aluminum is very high in the reactivity series and it can be extracted by electrolysis. So option A is correct option. What is given in other options? B. Aluminum ore are very rare. Whether aluminum ore is rare or not, there is no relation with the electrolysis or with the extraction. So B is incorrect. D. Zinc oxide has a higher melting point than aluminum oxide. Whether melting point is high or low, it is not related to extraction by electrolysis. So D is also incorrect. Correct option, option A, aluminum is very high in the reactivity series. Question number 27. In which solid can layers of atoms slide over each other? Option A, diamond, B, graphite, C, hematite, D, silica. Definitely correct option. Option B, graphite. In graphite we have layers that can slide over each other. So correct option, option B. Question number 28. Which ion causes the acidity in dilute hydrochloric acid? Acidity depends on hydrogen ion. Now hydrogen ion is given in option B, so definitely our correct option will be option B. Question number 29. Which metal can react rapidly with steam but react very slowly with cold water? Option A, calcium, B, copper, C, iron, D, potassium. Calcium and potassium are highly reactive metal, so calcium and potassium will react with steam and also it will react with cold water. So A and B are incorrect option. Copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so copper will not react with cold water. So B is also incorrect. The only possible option is option C, iron. Iron reacts with steam very rapidly, but it reacts with cold water very slowly. So correct option will be option C. Question number 30. Which gas turns moist blue litmus paper red and produces a precipitate when bubbled through calcium hydroxide solution? Blue litmus paper red means here the compound or the solution is acidic in nature. Now if we check the options A, B, C and D, here in B it is given carbon dioxide, in C it is given HCl. These two compounds are acidic in nature, so our possible option will be B and C. Now here it is given it produces a precipitate when bubbled through calcium hydroxide solution. When we will react carbon dioxide with calcium hydroxide, we will get calcium carbonate and calcium carbonate is of white precipitate. So our correct option will be option B. When we will react HCl with calcium hydroxide, we will get calcium chloride and calcium chloride is soluble. So our correct option will be option B, carbon dioxide. When we will react carbon dioxide with calcium hydroxide, we will get white precipitate. And second thing, this carbon dioxide is acidic in nature. So correct option, option B. Question number 31. The diagram shows 3 steps in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. In which step is a catalyst used? Option A, step Q only. Option B, step R only. Option C, step Q and R only. Option D, step P and Q and R. Here correct option is option A, step Q only. In the step Q, we are preparing sulfur trioxide. When we react sulfur dioxide with oxygen, this reaction is taking place in presence of a catalyst and the name of the catalyst is vanadium pentaoxide. So in the presence of vanadium pentaoxide, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen and we get sulfur trioxide. So in contact process, we use a catalyst only in the formation, only in the manufacture of sulfur trioxide. So catalyst is used only in the step Q. Step Q is given in option A. So correct option, option A. Question number 32. Which property of compounds in a homologous series is correct? Option A, they all have the same journal formula. Yes, this one is correct. In a homologous series, for all the compounds, they have a journal formula. As an example, in alkane, the journal formula is CnH2n plus 2. So all the members that are included in alkanes will have the same journal formula and this journal formula is CnH2n plus 2. Same thing for alkene. In alkene, journal formula is CnH2n. In alkyne, it is CnH2n minus 2. So this option, option A is correct one. What is given in other options? In B, it is given they all have the same molecular formula. No, this one is incorrect. Molecular formula of the compound present in a homologous series are different. For example, for methane, it is CH4. For ethane, it is C2H6. So B is incorrect. Option C, they all have the same number of isomers. No, this one is also incorrect because in the members of a homologous series, number of carbon atoms are different. When the number of carbon atoms are different, so definitely number of isomers will also be different. Option D, they all have the same physical properties. No, this one is also incorrect. We know that melting point and boiling point depends on the molecular mass. So the member with the higher molecular mass in a homologous series will have high melting point and the member with lesser molecular mass in the same homologous series will have lower boiling point or lower melting point. So this one is also incorrect. Correct option, option A, they all have the same journal formula. Question number 33. Which compound on combustion never forms carbon? Option A, carbon monoxide, B, ethanol, C, ethene, D, methane. When we burn ethanol, ethene or methane, we will get unburned carbon particles. But when we will burn carbon monoxide, we will not get unburned carbon particle, we will get only carbon dioxide. So our correct option will be option A. When we will combust carbon monoxide, we will not get carbon. Question number 34. Which process is an example of cracking? Option A, ethene. It is reacted with water and we got ethanol. This reaction is an addition reaction. B, Here we have propene. Propene is reacted with hydrogen and we got propane. This one is called hydrogenation. See, here we have propane. Propane is reacted with oxygen and we got carbon dioxide and water. This reaction is called combustion because here we are reacting propane with oxygen. And in this reaction, we will get heat and light. So this reaction is combustion. So number 1 is addition, number 2 is hydrogenation, number 3 is combustion. Now we check option D. In option D we have butane. Now butane is split into two smaller parts. One is ethene and second one is ethane. So this one is cracking because cracking means splitting of a compound into smaller compounds. So here it is cracking because here butane is split into two smaller compounds. One is ethene and second one is ethane. So this one is cracking, that is shown in option D. So correct option will be option D. Question number 35. A hydride is a compound containing only two elements, one of which is hydrogen. Which element can form the greatest number of different hydrides? Option A carbon, B chlorine, C nitrogen, D oxygen. Here correct option is option A carbon. Because carbon is an essential element in all the hydrocarbon named alkane, alkene and alkyne. And in alkane, alkene and alkyne family, we have not the fixed number of compound. In these homologous series, in these families, we have infinite number of compound. With the increase in number of carbon atom, we will get a new compound in that family. So we can say that greatest number of different hydrides will be formed by the combination with carbon. So correct option will be option A carbon. Question number 36. A liquid reacts with each of sodium carbonate, potassium hydroxide and ethanol. What is the liquid? Sodium carbonate, potassium hydroxide and ethanol are alkaline in nature. So the liquid that will react with sodium carbonate, potassium hydroxide and ethanol will be an acid. Now we check the option. Option A aqueous ammonia. Ammonia is alkaline in nature, so this one is incorrect. B ethanoic acid. Yes, this one is correct option. Here it is given an acid. Ethanoic acid will react with sodium carbonate, potassium hydroxide and ethanol. So correct option, option B. In C it is given ethyl ethanoate. Ethyl ethanoate is an ester. So this one is incorrect. In D it is given sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is also alkaline in nature. So this one will also not react with sodium carbonate, potassium hydroxide and ethanol. Only ethanoic acid will react with all these three compounds. So correct option, option B. Question number 37. Compound X and Y combine to form a polymer. Which of the statement about the polymer and its formation is not correct? Option A. Ammonia is formed during the production of the polymer. When compound X will react with compound Y, OH of compound X will be removed and from compound Y this H will be removed. This OH and this H will be reacted together and we will get water. So when X and Y will react together to form a polymer, water will be formed. And here it is given ammonia is formed. So this statement is incorrect and we have to find out the incorrect statement. So our correct option will be option A because the statement given in this option is incorrect. Okay, we also check other options. In B it is given hydrolysis of polymer produces X and Y. Hydrolysis means addition of water molecule. Here we have removed a water molecule when we made a polymer. So from the polymer if we have to make X and Y means here we have to add that water molecule. And addition of water molecule in the polymer is called hydrolysis. So here we have a process of hydrolysis and by hydrolysis we will get X and Y. So this statement is correct. In C it is given the polymer is a polyamide. Yes, this one is correct. Here we have H2N group and here we have CO group. So this one is a polyamide. D. The polymer is formed by a condensation reaction. Yes, it is discussed before that here one OH ion and here H ion will be removed and we will get water, and this one is called condensation. So polymer is formed by the condensation reaction. This statement is also correct. The only incorrect statement is given in A, so correct option will be option A. Question number 38. The structure formula of some organic compounds are shown below. Which compound are alcohol? Alcohol means OH group. In number 1 we have OH group, so this one alcohol. Here again in number 2 we have OH group, so this one is also alcohol. In number 3 we have two OH group, one on this end and second on this end, so this one is also an alcohol. In D we don't have OH group, here we have COOH group. COOH group means here we have acidic group. So in 1, 2 and 3 we have alcoholic group, in 4 we have an acidic group. So 1, 2 and 3 are alcohols, 1, 2 and 3 is given in option C. So correct option will be option C. Question number 39. What is the partial structure of the polymer formed by the polymerization of propene? Here formula of propene is given. In this formula here we have two carbon. In between these two carbon we have double bond. Now with this carbon here we have one methyl radical and one hydrogen. With this carbon we have one hydrogen, one methyl radical. And with this carbon we have two hydrogen. With this carbon we have two hydrogen. Now we check the options. In option A we are looking that with carbon in all the cases we have hydrogen. So this one cannot be, this one incorrect. Now we check B. In B we are looking, we have hydrogen and one methyl radical with this carbon. Here we have with this carbon one hydrogen and one methyl. So this one is same as in this monomer. We check this second carbon. With this second carbon we have hydrogen and hydrogen. With this second carbon we have hydrogen and hydrogen. So this option is correct because here we are looking in this polymer, this monomer is same as shown here and it is repeated. Same thing is here, then again same thing here, same thing here. So option B is our correct option. Okay, we check other options also. In C we are looking, here we have hydrogen and CH3. Here we have hydrogen and CH3, it is okay. But again with the second carbon we have hydrogen and methyl radical. Here we are looking with the second carbon we have two hydrogen, not the methyl radical. That's why this one is incorrect. Here in option D with first carbon we have two methyl radical. Here with first carbon we have one hydrogen and one methyl radical. So this one is also incorrect. Correct option, option B. Question number 40. When a volcano erupts, which gas is produced in significant amount? In a volcano, the main gas that is evolved is sulfur dioxide. Now sulfur dioxide is given in D, so correct option will be option D. Now we have completed all the questions from the year 2014 of paper 1 variant 2.